trafficking here in Canada, in Ontario, since 1978. And not one police officer in this province is interested in my story because some of those police were involved in my human trafficking. So those levels of those police go to the highest level here in Canada. So on my website to come, on my YouTube channel, which is under Jehsara's Journey, you'll see a lyric video that starts to discuss my written complaint to the alleged police department last year that arrested me, put handcuffs behind my back because I tried to report being raped at 5. So because I named names of these elite individuals, they decided to put me in the back of a cop car, drop me off to mental health, as they've done this for at least, I don't know, since 1984, to hide my abuse. So I was picked up, luckily, by an advocacy group of Commission of Human Rights. I know what my rights are. I know what and what not to say in mental health, because I've been through this BS for over 30 years of my life. So when I discussed in the hospital the details of being sold in Belgium in 1978, discussing either the alleged political law or community and family members involved in my human trafficking, I let them take down their little notes. They put me through at least 4 different psychiatrists in less than an hour to try and get me to break down and not give them facts. And that was the problem. So for example, part of my PTSD is I'm on disability, and I want to be the first Canadian artist on disability for PTSD with a hit song about my complaint about ritual cult abuse here in the country, because it goes right to the top. And you'll see part of those alleged members in my lyric video. Because at this point, I am 45 years old. I got no business twerking my butt in this ridiculous satanic music industry that either objectifies children, shares nothing but pornographic and child abuse mentality, teaches a bunch of artists to either objectify and sexualize women. So I put out a lyric video and not my body. Thank you.
Woo!
Now, part of this lyric goes as so. I'm going to try this really quickly. Doesn't bother me, no negativity will hold the space over me now. Can't you see practicality, never a reality? Doesn't bother me, no negativity. At this point, when I did my spiritual reawakening, it started after my second child was born, and I was sick of waking up with erupted skin issues from allergies and realized I was being drugged by my own ex-partner. That my joints were laced with ketamine, that my drinks and food would always be laced with drugs, and I would be sold by my own partner because I was sold by my own family. And so part of this lockdown right now dramatizes me to a point, because in the human trafficking ring as a child, the one way that the politicians, royal family members, and elite that would come in thanks to the TIP Festival every year, last week of August and first week of September, would wear masks when they were raping us children. That's right. These pedophiles that run our country and part of Hollywood, about 90% of Hollywood, wore masks when raping us children. So you can imagine when the lockdown then included masks inside my own building, and I have a medical exemption. So you can imagine the harassment I get now on a daily basis. So I try to respect the fear of the mask wearers because it has nothing to do with science. It has to do with control. We have over 40,425 missing children documented by the RCMP right now. That doesn't lock down our country. We have over 800,000 children that are missing in the United States. That doesn't lock down our children. We have 14.5 million people in Ontario. We have 9,000 children missing. Doesn't lock down our province. Manitoba has 1.3 million people, but they have 8,900 missing children. Do those numbers. Does that make effing sense? No. So I'm going to yell as loud as I can for all the police that are here for us speaking when there are missing children at this very moment. I hope that they go home today and they check their missingchildren.ca website to understand how many missing children they're not looking for. Most of these children, yes, are part of the Native community, because we know Manitoba has the highest community in the country. We know that the highest numbers of these missing children are where the strictest regulations of this mandate are in effect right now. So I'm going to give you an example of what I've survived in my life, which risks my life to express this to you today. In the song called Doesn't Bother Me, which is the lyric video giving you subliminal information like every other dumb song in Hollywood about what I survived and what I'm trying to overcome with no help for the last 10 years. I tried to come out about my human trafficking in 2009. How many years is that? Have I gotten any help? Zero. I've been constantly trying to either drug, silence. I can maybe pay $160 an hour for a psychotherapist, and I've been on a waiting list for almost 12 months in Ottawa. I've gone through 10 different organizations in Ottawa for help about my sexual child abuse. I was let go after I think about 5 visits to Ottawa's #1 crisis center because they wanted me to stop talking about gang rape. It was a rape center. You would think you could talk about rape. Nope. They have no qualifications to do so. So what do? Well, they take your money to give me 20 visits, cancel me after 5 so they could keep the funding for those other 15 damn visits. That's the scam. That's the scam. Wherever you contribute through your tax dollars or through these organizations, they are not helping people. They are helping fund news stations, for example, that don't give you facts that there have been 11 children that have died in the last 4 months from being taken from family social services in Ontario. That's a fact. It's on my Facebook. You can see the link, you can see the facts. And it doesn't include children that are dying from COVID. It includes children taken from services that are to protect our children. So I seem to be a problem for law officials in this city